Welcome back, still with us in Asean Newsroom. Well, the European Union and German investors still have confidence in Thailand and are keen to use the country as an ASEAN investment hub. They view interesting in Thailand and the current conflict between the kingdom and Germany over the seizure of a Thai Boeing 737 at Munich airport over a 30 million euro debt as separate issues. Rolf Dieter Daniel, president of the German-Thai Chamber of Commerce, said the Boeing seizure case would not affect the confidence of EU and German investors who still want to invest here to cash in on upcoming market liberalization under the ASEAN Economic Community, which will take effect in 2015. He added that he wanted to see Thailand as the EU collaborate more on free trade. Federation on Thai Industry Chairman Payungsak Jatsuthipon agreed that the plane spat would not affect EU investment in Thailand. Thai EU Business Council Chairman Visit Limprana said the last year Thailand and the EU recorded bilateral trade value of 30 billion US dollars and that the EU was the kingdom's third largest export market. The Thai EU Business Council yesterday signed a memorandum of understanding with the German-Thai Chamber of Commerce to promote trade and business expansion between the Thai and EU private sectors. Visit said it was a matter for the new government to decide to resume negotiations on the Thailand-EU free trade agreement. The Thai private sector remains concerned about the opening up of trade in services, including the financial and insurance sectors.
Well, the latest conflict between the kingdom's two hypermarket giants, Big C and the Tesco Lotus, will have to wait for the new Commerce Minister to be appointed, as he or she will share the Trade Competition Committee's probe into the case. Big C's Supercenter and Sensor Co. yesterday filed a second petition to the committee to investigate Egg Chai Distribution System Co., operator of Tesco Lotus, for an alleged breach of the Trade Competition Act. Wachari Vimuktayon, Director General of the Commerce Minister's Internal Trade Department, said the minister must share the meetings of this committee as it investigates the case, and the new government has not yet appointed its cabinet. She explained that the committee must consider carefully whether Tesco has violated the Trade Competition Act, as this case could be a precedent for future judgments. Under Article 29 of the law, if Tesco is found guilty, the company could be subjected to a 3-year jail term and/or about 6 million baht fine. In February, Big C and Sensor filed their first petition to Trade Competition Committee to investigate Tesco Lotus on its alleged breach of the Trade Competition Act. They claimed their rights had been violated by the launch of advertisement and a marketing campaign that invited GAFU customers to use GAFU coupons at Tesco Lotus. The committee is still considering that case. Big C issued a press release yesterday again accusing Egg Chai Distribution of an unfair trade practice after Tesco Lotus openly invited consumers who hold GAFU iWish membership cards to send text messages to Tesco and receive gift vouchers from July 15 to 24th.
Japanese electronics maker Sony swung to a loss in the April to June period after the earthquake and tsunami hit production in March. The company reported a net loss of 15.5 billion yen or 199 million US dollars for the quarter. That was down from a 25.7 billion yen profit during the same period last year. Sony also cut its forecast for its full-year earnings by 25% to 60 billion yen from an original projection of a profit of 80 billion yen. The company said sales and profit were mainly affected by the negative impact of the Great East Japan earthquake, as well as the deterioration of the electronics business environment and unfavorable exchange rates. Sony was not the only electronics company to see its results for the quarter hit by the natural disasters. Also on Thursday, Panasonic reported a net loss of 30.4 billion yen compared with a 43.7 billion yen profit for the same period a year earlier. And Sharp recorded a quarterly loss of 49.3 billion yen, down from a profit of 10.7 billion yen last year. The company said various sectors had contributed to the drop. not least the falling prices of liquid crystal display LCD TVs. Sony also warned that as economic woes in its key markets continued, it expected TV sales to fall even further. LCD TV unit sales for the fiscal year are anticipated to be below expectations, it said. However, analysts said that while demand from key markets had been falling, increased competition was also hurting the company. They are facing a lot of competition and also the strong currency. Competition is increasing globally, said Yoshi Takeda of RBC Asia Equity Fund. Mr. Takeda added that for Sony to recapture its market share, it would have to come up with a range of more competitive products. The TV market is a very tough market because nobody is really making money and there's a lot of capacity available right now, he said.
Well, the Thailand Incentive and Convention Association urged the new government to inform the international community that domestic political situation has returned to normal in a bid to boost the confidence of business travelers. Sumet Sudana, the re-elected president of the Thailand Incentive and Convention Association of TICA, said that the new government and next Prime Minister should meet with foreign chambers of commerce or business organizations as well as diplomats stationed here to let them know that politics and general issues are already business as usual. He believes such a publicity push would restore the confidence of foreign communities here after the general election, as this should help bring new businesses into the kingdom. Sumet says some envoys have already met with Yingluck Shinawatra, the head of the government-elect, and many other ambassadors want to meet her team. This is a good opportunity to tell foreigners about our current situation. He said that Yingluck is the only person to lead the team to meet with expatriates before passing on action plans to the team. According to TICA, if the new government can ensure the outside world that Thailand is ready to provide tourism and MICE services with no disruption, that should help lure a lot more international events and executives to the country. TICA has outlined a MIC or MICE development plan for 2011 to 2012, including urgent measures such as an aggressive marketing strategy that will focus on high-end markets in emerging countries such as China, Indonesia, India, and Russia. In the domestic market, cross-regional meetings and events will be promoted. TICA is scheduled to hold a convention promotion seminar in Chiang Mai from September 29 to October 1st as a venue for 120 buyers to meet with 200 sellers from key provinces. Sumet said this event is once in every 2 years, so this time is expected to boost local MICE markets activity until 2012.
Thailand's policy rate could reach 5% in the second quarter of 2012 if the incoming Pheu Thai party goes ahead unrelentingly to implement its expansionary economic agenda. Jun Trinidad of Citibank sounded an alarm bell in his report issued yesterday from Manila, the Philippines. He said the scenario of the Thai policy rate rising to 5% in the second quarter is based on the central bank's forward or proactive approach in targeting inflation amid the Pheu Thai's huge spending. He said this rate approach abandons hope that Pheu Thai would be inclined to fiscal prudence or mindful of the favorable growth and inflation backdrop. The Thai policy rate is now standing at 3.25%. But if the Pheu Thai spending is to be gradual in another scenario, the central bank is also more likely to raise the rates incrementally. The Monetary Policy Committee's minutes from its July 13th policy rate meeting raised concern on the upside inflationary risk courted by Pheu Thai's expansionary economic agenda. As a result of continued fiscal stimulus amidst an economy that is bound to recover in the second half of 2011 as supply disruption risk fades, the Monetary Policy Committee concluded the risk to inflation outweighed the risk to growth. Measures proposed by the incoming administration, such as the prospective increases in the minimum wage and fiscal spending amid continued growth, will likely add to inflationary pressure and may heighten inflation expectations. On Tuesday, The Thai Commerce Ministry also warned that the populist spending of the Pheu Thai government would send inflation to 7% next year. This year's inflation is expected to reach 3.50 to 4%.
Permanent Secretary for Commerce Yan Yong Phuongrat says inflation is likely to take place but is not the result of the higher commodity prices, rather the influx of currencies and energy prices. According to him, the inflation rate is expected to be no more than 3.7% this year. He urged every sector not to worry too much over Pheu Thai's policies on a minimum wage and the price for rice pledging. He added that it was not known yet when the new government would implement these schemes. He speculated that it could be executed by year's end or possibly in early next year at the latest. The inflation rate, according to Yan Yong, will be between 3.2 to 3.7%. The permanent secretary estimated the figures based on a report by the Department of Internal Trade, which revealed the rates to be no more than 3.6%. Meanwhile, he said pork prices has now reached 150 baht per kilogram, given the disease spreading among pigs, prompting the amount of pork sold in the market to decline. He further explained that the pork price did not increase between the butchers had tried to hoard the product. The Commerce Ministry will not resort to pegging the price down as this could disrupt the market mechanisms. However, it is expected that the problem will subside next month. Well, the rescue continued to research for the bodies of the victims in Seoul, and also it has been reported this morning that the leader of the Libyan rebel troops have been shot dead. For more information after the break.